There is no single post-processing setting that is more important to get correct than the white balance. And there's not very many settings in photo editing where I would say there is a correct way to do it. But with white balance, if you want to create realistic looking photos, there certainly is a correct way to do it and a correct way to nail it. And I want to talk about that in today's video because when I look back on some of my old photos from many years ago, the ones that work have a white balance that looks good, and the ones that don't work have a white balance that doesn't look good. Simply adjusting the white balance fixes so many of my old photos that were terrible. And when I help clients that come on my workshops, I see this time and time again that people struggle with the white balance. So it is the number one thing that I try and teach people to dial in and to nail. And I want to show you how I do that in today's video. Now, I'm going to be using Lightroom for today's video, but you can be using any photo editor you want. Pretty much every photo editor should have temperature and tint sliders to adjust the white balance of your photos. So you can do this anywhere, but for today's example, we'll use Lightroom. I want to show you this photo here that I've edited. It's already pretty much fully edited from before and after, but I want to show you if I would not have adjusted this white balance. I shoot an auto white balance in the field, which is what I would recommend, and then I fix it in post. If I was to have used the standard white balance as the camera shot it and I would have edited my photo the exact same way, this is how it looks. Very blue in the shadows, very, very, very blue. More often than not, when you're shooting these landscape photos, you are going to find with this really high dynamic range that you're going to get a nice white balance maybe in the sky, but oftentimes the foreground is going to be much too cool, and so you're going to have to bring that up. So you dial in that white balance. Now, when your white balance is as shot, just like this one, you bring this into post. Now, obviously, this image started off a lot darker. I've brightened things up. But one of the biggest things that I do, if this is my raw photo here, somewhere around here, we've got a photo similar to this. I've done a few masking adjustments, but basically we've got this. And so you're probably like, well, how the heck do I adjust the white balance? A lot of people think of white balance as something that you really need to just adjust at the start of your photo, but don't think of it so linearly. Think of white balance as something that you can adjust at any point in time during your photo edit, and you should always be tweaking it back and forth. In fact, it is almost never the first setting that I adjust. Typically, the first thing that I do is just make my image more properly exposed. Make it look, similar to how it's going to look eventually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the highlights on this photo and bring up the shadows and bring up the blacks. And I'm just kind of flattening the photo a little bit. So now I can see a little bit more of the details in the scene. Now, what I'm noticing is that, the sky probably looks fine, but what I'm noticing is this rock here, it should be like orangish red, and it's really kind of bluish toned. It's cool toned, and it's in the shadows, so it should be a little bit cool toned, but maybe not quite this cool toned. Now, one of my favorite tricks to use here is to actually bring up the saturation slider, and occasionally I'll bring up the vibrance slider as well, but usually just the saturation slider to dial in the white balance of my photo. Now, obviously this is way too oversaturated, but I'm going to dial this back down after I adjust the white balance. What I want you to do when you bring the saturation up is take note on your photo and notice the colors in the image. And what do you notice? In this photo, the green is almost, one might say it's too green, but really the problem is that it's too blue. When we talk about greenery in the real world, it's almost yellow green, and this is kind of blue green or cyan green. So it's too cool. So we want to fix that. This kind of red over here is all right, but I want it to be a little bit more reddish yellow. So with that being said, I know that, okay, my image is too cool. So let's go ahead and adjust to warm. We will just start to warm this up. Now you'll notice how this starts to come alive over here, and the trees kind of get more green yellowy, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to leave that about right there. Now when I look at this, I also might say, okay, maybe it's too green and I want things to be more magenta. This one's a little bit harder to tell, but if I zoom into something, like over here in the corner, everything just kind of is a little too green, and not just saturation wise. I'm talking about tint. Again, this is a little bit harder to tell, but if that's the case, you want to just drag this towards magenta. And if you don't know, I always recommend just playing with the slider and dragging it. And you'll notice when things are really green, everything kind of blends together. But as I go more towards magenta here, the greens kind of separate from the magentas and the reds and the other colors in the scene, which is really good. Now, this is obviously too far, but I also like what this is doing to the leaves on the tree. I think it's getting a little more natural. So we went from this to now this. So very subtle adjustment, but it is going to make a difference. Now you will turn your saturation back down, and you will continue to edit your photo as normal. And that is going to give you that much more neutral white balance. You can see it's very similar to what we started with before. I think we might have had it a little bit cooler. But again, this is something that I would go through and adjust later. But this is always the first thing that I do to my images. Let's look at another image here. One might look at this photo, apply their basic edits, and say, okay, the white balance looks fine. When you have something in a photo like snow that is white, you have a really good way of kind of starting your image off of getting a really good white balance. So once you apply these band adjustments, you can sometimes use the eyedropper and you'll get mixed results. If you click on something that should be white, you can see that neutralizes things, but I think it's a little too green. We can try on the brighter spot here in the sun, and that's a lot closer. You know, this way this eyedropper works is you select something and you select what should be basically completely neutral or white. Sometimes in the sun, it's not going to look realistic because you can see there's sun hitting here. But on this one, it actually looks pretty good. But let's bring the saturation up just to make sure. Now, as I bring the saturation up, what I like about this now is I have blues in the shadows and I have yellows in the highlights, in the warmth spots. And I don't have blue over here in the sun, which is really important when I'm talking about snow. So if I go back to my original white balance and I was to bring the saturation up, notice how the shadows in the snow, if I zoom into just this color, this is magenta. I think everyone would agree with that. If you look at it from back here, you might not be able to agree that's magenta, but when you zoom in, we should all be able to agree that this is magenta, or, you know, it's not quite blue enough. So by making that adjustment and bringing it a little bit cooler and a little bit more towards green, we can tone things in the image to feel a little bit more neutral. Now, when we bring that back down, we're finding the image looks a lot better. Don't worry if you're making things too blue in the image. Very simple to go back in later in your color mixer and just grab the blue and desaturate the blue a little bit. But I like to just get my image off to a nice start to have it in the right spot. Another thing that I like to do sometimes is click here on the number, hold the shift key, and go up and down. This adjusts by 10 points. And so you can adjust and say, okay, too green, too magenta, and just find the spot that really looks good. And I'm adjusting by 10. When I release the shift key, then I'm adjusting by 1. So I can get it close, adjusting by 10, and then fine tune it by releasing the shift key. Let's do that on this one more photo here, which is already pretty much completely edited. Now, I already adjusted the tint there a little more towards green, and I'll show you why. You might look at this and say, this looks pretty good. And I would agree, it looks pretty good. But a lot of photographers with a nice sunset like this will make the mistake of going in and making things too yellow because it makes the sunset look better. Now, to a lot of people, this would be acceptable. To me, this doesn't look realistic. Now, the one thing that I will tell you of why I can tell this doesn't look realistic is because the sky does not look this color unless there's clouds. But this should be blue sky up here, which is why I've edited my photo like this. Now you can see there's a little bit of blue sky here. Yes, it's a little bit dark because of the vignette I applied, but it looks a lot more realistic being a little bit blue. So I like having those blue tones and those yellow tones to help maintain the realism in my scene. And almost every image that I have, I always try and have something that's cooler and something that's warmer because that helps me to properly balance out the scene. If everything in your scene is really warm or everything is really cool, it is not going to look realistic. Now, when I come in to adjust the tint, one thing I'll look at is the shadows. I'm almost never looking at the highlights. When I'm adjusting the color temperature, I'm almost always looking at the shadows. And one thing I notice is it's very magenta in here, and this is even feeling a little bit magenta. So just zoomed in here, I will adjust this, and I'll use my shift key and go towards green. You know, that's probably too far. Maybe about right there. Just hit return, zoom out, so you can see the difference between 0 and that -8. Very subtle there, very, very subtle change, but obviously it doesn't always need to be crazy. But again, just make sure you're not looking at the highlights when you are adjusting the white balance. And again, you can use that saturation trick. When I adjust that, you can see the mountains here look relatively good. You know, before they're very magenta. I just kind of want to tone that magenta-ness down a little bit and make it a little more blue. They should be blue in the shadows, but not overly blue. So that's what I'm looking for, and then turn that back down later. So that's how I go about adjusting white balance. Very important that you get this right. And hopefully this helps you because I know a lot of people struggle to perfectly balance the whites in their image. Always remember, you want something on the warmer side and something on the cool side. in most circumstances. There's some images where everything's going to be cool or everything's going to be warm. But if you want your photos to look realistic, I always like having something that's kind of neutral toned in the scene, because that kind of gives you a neutral point. And then anything that's warmer looks realistic. Anything that's cooler looks realistic. So you could go in and make your foreground a little cooler and your sky a little bit warmer to make the sunset a little bit better, rather than just making the whole scene warmer overall, because then it's not going to look realistic. So hopefully that helps. Let me know down below in the comments if it does. I really appreciate you guys being here. As always, my name is Austin Jackson. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like and a subscribe to my channel. I'll help you to improve your photography every week, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.